Good morning, hello, and happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? I see lots of you popping into the comments as we're getting started this morning. So if you haven't yet, say hello and let me know what you've been up to. Did you have a good weekend? Are you ready, prepared to take on this week? I am so excited about this release, and Whitney and I did an extra long release reveal on Saturday for you guys. So if you watched all the way through, special badge for you. Congratulations. It was a long one, but so many goodies for creating all the trimmings for your holidays coming up. So whether you like to make ornaments to give as gifts, or maybe you like to make special tags for your gifts, we're going to be talking about those, even things like treat bags and decor for your own mantle or to gift. We have lots of fun things. And today we're going to focus on tag making. I know the title for this video said a must-have product for making tags, and I am so excited to share it with you. So we're combining a little something old with a little something brand new, and I think you're going to love the result and how easy it makes it to create tags. So we do have a promotion going on this week, and I did talk about that earlier on Saturday in our release reveal, but just to give you a heads up, we have a free product. It's called North Pole Postmarks, and it is free with a purchase of $75 or more, and that is from the all the trimmings category. So your $75 needs to come just from that category, and it will add automatically to your cart, so you don't have to worry about adding that. If you see it in your cart, then your order qualifies. And I'm going to use that today on the live. It is a collection of tos and froms and some other ephemera to help you decorate your holiday tags. So super excited about that one. Susan was talking about it because she wants that set. So she's like, how much do I have to get that set? I know anybody who makes lots of tags will be getting lots of use out of that. So let's say good morning to some people. Good morning, Ruth. Hi, Michelle. Glad you're able to finally catch a live. Hello, Sue. Donna's here. Hi, Nancy. Deneen is here. Got your order in already right after 9 o'clock. Hi, Roxanne and Kimberly in North Carolina. Hi, Rachel. Glad you're enjoying our creative ideas for this release. And we have Deborah here from Huntington Beach. Well, that's where our sister lives. Whitney and I, our youngest sister, lives in Huntington Beach. So maybe we'll be coming your way to visit her. Hello, Cindy. Good to see you. And Arletta, Jennifer, Louise, Tina, Dana, Mary. So many people joining us today. So glad, because I am super excited about what we're going to craft together. So if you did want to check out all of our new products, they did release at 9 a.m. this morning. You can also head to the website, click on that big banner across the front, and that will take you to our category with all of our new items in it. You can also find them under What's New at the top, and then the All the Trimmings release. Or you can go back and watch our release reveal video where we go through all of the samples the design team created and show you all of the products and talk about what they were designed to do and why we wanted them in this collection. So we won't be going through all the products today, but I did, as I switched to my down camera, wanted to show you just the huge pile of tags that I have in front of me. So super fun. Look at all these tags. That is a big part of this release, is creating tags that you can use on so many things, whether you're tying them on a gift bag or putting them on a wrapped present under the tree, or maybe you're packaging them up and giving someone a set of tags that they can use on their own presents. There's lots of different ways you can do tagging. So I'm going to move these out of the way as we get ready to craft together. You'll notice most of these tags look kind of similar. They're made with the same product in different colors. I love that this product allows you to pick and choose your color combination. These are the ones we're going to be making on the live today. 16 tags out of one set of stencils. And then some other tagging products that we have, you can see here. Susan always makes the most beautiful tags for her gifts. She created this one using our Twinkle All the Way set. This one was available to those of you at our in-person Stamp Joy. I love how she took the glitter cardstock and blended over it to make those icy blue lights on the dark background. And then we also have our new snow globe shaker tag, and this one's almost ornament worthy. So tie this on a gift bag and someone hopefully will keep it forever and maybe hang it on their tree the following year. Okay, so here we are. This is our new product that's called Create in Quads. You guys are familiar with that, right? This one is called Create in Quads Simple Tags Christmas. So each of these quadrants has a little bit different theme. There is Santa, snowman, there's mittens and stockings and a tree, and then ornaments and holly and other poinsettia greenery. So this one stencil is going to get you 16 different tags when you die cut them with the coordinating Simple Tags die. So this die was previously in our collection, and so you might want to check your collection. It is many years old, maybe like 5 or more. So it's going back quite a ways. If you're a newer customer, then you know you might not have this unless you've bought it since then. But we're going to use this die to line up these alignment squares and be able to cut the tags out. All right, so let's see. Dory says she's got $75 from all the trimmings in her cart, and she's not seeing the freebie. I don't believe it's already sold out. I think I would have heard about that. So I would recommend contacting customer service, and they will make sure that you can get. It's always good to contact them before you check out. So just in case we're seeing a problem, we can get that fixed on our end and then hopefully get you checked out quickly. All right. What did she use to cut the hole out on the snow globes? Let me see. It doesn't look round at the bottom. Are we talking about this guy? The hole at the top, the tag piece, that is part of the die set. So that little tab comes in the die set, and she just nested it here between the layer of foam tape and then tied the string around that. Hopefully that makes sense, Dana. If that's not the question you were asking, then ask again and I'll do my best. Let's see. Shanta's asking, will we be able to get the die now since it is an older die? Yes, we have stocked up on this die, so since it coordinates with this new stencil, it is available in our collection and you can buy it now. It is called Simple Tags. And then to go along with Simple Tags, this is completely new. This one is called the Simple Tags Backer. So if you want to be able to create these fun backers, maybe give some sturdiness to your tags by adding an extra layer, these backers are designed to fit perfectly as a layer behind the tags that you'll cut out of your quad. So hopefully all of that makes sense. Okay, let's get started then with our stencil. So this is what that Create in Quad stencil looks like. Such a fun design, and you're going to find 4 layers. They are etched at the bottom with layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. And follow the layers on your stencil, and we will move through and blend each of these out. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper. This is 8.5 by 11. You will want a full 8.5 by 11 sheet to use this, as opposed to our other stencil where we cut it down to 8 by 10.5 so that you can easily cut those 4 panels in quarters. We're not going to be doing that this time. So just grab a full piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. If you're Heather, you might choose toffee, but I'm going to be using sugar cube today. And we are going to place layer 1 over the top.
I'm going to get in close today. I got it. Write down all my tips because this is something I really
You're
needed.
excited to use this?
Yes. I always want gorgeous tags. I just needed to be able to master
to do them easily, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to mention up here, this line of stencil material is pretty thin here on this top corner. So when I tack this first layer down, there's also one here at the bottom. So when I tack this first layer down, I am going to make sure to give some extra teal tape in that particular space, just to keep that thinner line from lifting. And that's going to help us not get that kind of shadow effect outside the lines of our stenciled piece. And we'll do down there as well. So that's only on layer 1. The rest of the layers don't have those kind of thin areas. So make sure we've got a good amount of tape in place here. And we're going to start blending. So I did pick a couple different colors on each side of this, and you do want to pay attention to some of the smaller details. So if you have the packaging, which you will have the packaging, this is what it looks like, and I would just encourage you to take a look at the different quadrants. So this is Santa, this is Snowman, and you'll want to pay attention to things like the little snowman's cheeks. If you want them to be pink, it's shown here as if you're blending that first layer in pink. However, I wanted to create a fun blend in the background, almost like Santa and Snowman are outside. So that means I want my little cheeks of my snowmen to be pink. So I'm gonna take my tiny blender brush. I have that in Bubblegum. Grab my glassboard buddy, and I'm gonna do those pieces first. I'm just going to go over the top of the cheeks here. And then while I'm at it, I might go ahead and do a few of the squares that are nearby just to make sure that I get them filled. Okay. Whitney, when you get a chance, could you bring me the Post-it removable labeling tape?
Ooh, yes.
Okay, so this half of the stencil is kind of the background of the Santa and the Snowman. So for this purpose, I'm going to do the background in several different kind of blue to purple shades. So I'm going to start with sprinkles. We'll get a little bit of Gumball in there, some Macaron, and then a little dried fig. But that's only on this left half of the stencil. I'm just going to avoid the right side because I think my details are far enough away that it's not gonna make a big difference, but you could put a piece of masking tape over this side if you tend to get a little bit excited in your blending. You don't want to over blend onto that opposite side. So we'll start with sprinkles. And looks like people are getting their questions answered. Whitney, am I right? Okay, Dory found that tag die. As you're going, you will want to make sure to blend, especially on this first layer, you'll want to blend all of those alignment squares. There are 4 of them on each quadrant, and they will be important when you go to line up that coordinating die. That's how you're going to line it up and cut out the tag imagery. So make sure you blend through each square so that when we go to switch layers, it'll be easy to line up, and it will be easy to die cut when we're all finished. And I will say I tend to take a more is more approach on this. So I'm showing you guys sort of the blend for if you want to be extra. And if you decide you don't want to be extra and you want to be fast, then pick a color where you don't have to do some of this creative masking. And that is a-okay. You're still going to end up with beautiful, beautiful tags, but I like to show the options for those of you that may want to take that extra step. Know that it's not too tough. Before we get into these areas, I'm just going to pop a little masking tape over the top of my snowman cheeks. Might have to rip this one down the middle here. That side and that side. Okay. That will help in those small spaces, just to make sure that we keep that color nice inside of our background and keep those cheeks pink instead of making them purple and blue. Jamie says I'm extra and fast. You know, you're probably not wrong there. I tend to be a faster crafter. And I saw this question actually pop up on the fan page. It might have been yesterday, asking, you know, how long does it take you to make a card? So Sue and I were talking about that as we debated, and there are a lot of factors that kind of depend whether you've got the idea already kind of marinating, whether you are copying an idea, maybe just changing colors, how easy or hard it is to find the supplies that you want. And trust me, we struggle with that here too. I think it was just yesterday we spent a good 20 minutes looking for something that we knew we had at one point. But I think as a good, maybe average, we both landed on that it takes about an hour to make a card from scratch, like with an idea that we're coming up with without having seen something else. Maybe an hour, hour and a half. And I loved some of the responses too. Many of them were saying like, I don't really keep track because it's not about the speed of the process. It's about enjoying what I'm doing. And so it's not something I really keep track of. But I know the person who asked was saying, I just feel like it takes me forever to make a card that I'm happy with. And so sometimes commiserating about that with others is good too. Okay. Let's move over to the next color, which is a little bit of purple. So we did a couple of blues, and now we're going to move into the purple. This is Macaron, and it is going to be just a caution is you want to be a little light-handed as you start blending this because you don't want to go too dark on the purple. Give yourself some room to blend up to that depth. So I'm leaving the base or the bottom kind of blue, so it's going to glow up into the dark night sky. Now this particular tag with the Santa's feet sticking out, it's upside down on the panel, so this is actually the darkest portion up here in the night sky, and this over here is going to be my dark portion. So just kind of think about that as you're starting to add these purple elements. Is I want it to be darker at the top of the tag, kind of like the sky gets darker the farther up you're looking. Adding some of that macaron in there. Again, not too dark, not too stark from the blue to the macaron. And then at the very top, we'll add some of that dried fig color that will really give it a little bit more of a pop of color. Do the same with the snowman, keeping in mind that this snowman tag is upside down on the panel. Obviously, it won't matter when you cut it out, but for your blending, if you want to keep that sky deepest at the top, just keep that in mind. These are all extras, extra details. So we're getting there. So who has started their Christmas cards? I know, Whitney?
I have some that I've been working on, but you know me, I get to like the start of Christmas, and I have a lot of excitement of all the things that I have in mind. And then as things move forward, it's like, okay, I need to at least, get something tied up. So I'm trying to this year pace myself so that I can enjoy it, because that's why we do it.
Right.
It's fun to do it and to give the gift and to have that handmade thing. So I that's what I'm trying to remember this
Start
year.
early.
Yes. And
I think that's, and enjoy the process. Good advice. But yes, the start early for sure, because I think I always start with a lot of gusto. And then life happens with Thanksgiving and all the other
activities and parties and all the things.
Teacher gifts and all the things to think about. So
also, I wanted to mention that Taylor wore a tank top last week, and now our temperatures have dropped. So I feel like we kind of, made that happen.
Did we jinx that?
Yes,
darn.
We must have, because I think we said that in the release reveal video.
Yes, I did. I wore a green tank top.
Yes. You were like, oh, I'll take the warm weather, and now we're like, okay, sweaters.
Please come back, warm weather.
But I think the change in weather always makes me want to start crafting more too. I don't know if everyone else is like that, but then you want to be inside and do your fun things, and there's so many fun things to craft for right now. So more to come.
All right, so a little bit more detail up here with that gold star that I blended in sweet corn, and then for the remainder of the pieces on the right side of this stencil, I'm going to blend with dragon fruit ink. And then before we take this up, I'm going to double check that I got all of the squares blended. I want to make sure that I'm avoiding my nice yellow star. There are a few little ornaments or lights that are going to show up in the tree that I want to make sure that I get there. And then a couple pieces down here. Okay, let's check the squares. I'm going to peel up my masking paper first. Looks like I got that one. And I think we're good to go on to layer 2. Layer 2 is the easy one, so this was the most difficult layer that I did, just in case you're like, whew, that was a lot. They do get a little bit easier and less involved as we go on. So let's remove this first layer, trying to save as much of the teal tape as I can to reuse that on our next layers. All right, you'll start to see these come together, especially on that left side, because we just blended the whole background. Laura Ann asked if we could make a list on our website of light, medium, and dark colors for all of our ink pads. So that's actually a project we are working on. We call those our shade sequence, and they show up on our palette playbooks. So if you search palette playbook, I think we have maybe 8 of them out currently, and you can see shade sequence for those. And then we're working on coming out with palette playbooks for every color in our collection. I know there will be some excitement about that. Some of you have been waiting to hear if that's something we will indeed be doing. And you guys all said you wanted that, so ta-da! Ta-da! Okay. So lining up all of those alignment squares, you can also use your visual cues on this stencil, but for me, those squares are lining up just perfectly, and I'll use that teal tape. There aren't any thin spaces around this second layer that we need to be aware of, so just tacking that down. And then just one little thing on this stencil, our little snowmen, they have little carrot noses. And so I want to make sure their noses are blended with orange. So let me grab candy corn and my little bitty blender brush. Actually, I think I'm going to try and grab here. I've got the detail. This might work a little bit better for some of these really small spaces here. So there's one orange nose, two orange nose, 3, and then little nose over here. Okay. And then the great part about this one is the rest of it is red. So we're going to come in with Cherry Pop, which is my favorite Christmas red. Let me grab my little pieces of tape here that I used to cover up the first layer, just to make sure we don't get any contamination of the ink. And we'll start blending. I don't like to waste things or use more than I need to, so trying to reuse what I can from layer to layer. Okay, so Cherry Pop, big blender brush, and blend across. See how easy this is, Whitney?
I know, I can do this. Now I feel like you're getting ahead on your tags too, because you're completing.
I know. How many times have I blended this stencil? And
16 tags is a good amount too.
Yes.
I mean, you're going to run through those as soon as you start wrapping, but I feel like, 16 tags in one run is a good amount.
Yes, it is.
And they're so cute. I love the different design in each, square.
In each quadrant, yeah.
Yes. I love that, because sometimes you want, I have, don't tell my kids, I have special tags for the ones that are from Santa.
Yes.
Do you do that too?
I do that.
Okay.
I was actually a little bit kind of kicking myself because I wish I had included, so this is the freebie, the North Pole postmarks with all the to froms that comes free with your order. And I wish I had included a Santa, like a signature of Santa, so you could stamp from Santa. Because, my kids are too old now and they just know things. So,
yes.
But I used to have Dad sign all of our tags because they know their dad's writing and my writing. And so, yeah, we do special wrapping paper too.
I do that too. One of my friends would decorate her tree in a new color scheme every single year and have wrapping paper to match.
Wow.
She wanted the same color scheme for everything, and I was like, wow, someday. But no, it won't happen.
No.
To me.
Goals, right? Let's see. Lisa's asking, where can we find the measurements for the box that is the gift with purchase this month? And Whitney can check, but we have a gift with purchase page that has the picture of the box on there. Hopefully it would also have the dimensions. But thank you for asking that, because I forgot to show you guys. So this is the little box that is our free with $100 purchase. It's called Mini Mail, has this cute little flap. You can put treats in it. One of the really fun things though is you can put these tags in it. Obviously it doesn't close with the tags in there, but they fit in there perfectly side to side, and then the little ones can just stack in the front. You could put your little, tie something around it, or somehow put a little kind of bow at the top, and then you could gift this as a holiday tag box. So I just stenciled this with one of our polka dot stencils on the background of that mini mailbox. Okay, so we're on to layer 3. Let me grab my pieces of teal tape and get the next layer in place. We've got just a little bit of masking that happens on this layer, a little bit of color choice. Okay, Pack this down and this. So up here in this quadrant, you'll need to decide what color you want Santa's face to be. So I'm going to be using a light hand of peaches and cream, and then his little belt buckle, I'm going to be using sweet corn. So I'll do the sweet corn first. Let me get my little sweet corn brush here, and we can do that. Okay. And then peaches and cream. Across the 3 face openings. Kind of light-handed, building up to that peachy color. Okay. Now we are on to, so I only used, 12 inks in this project, but that's okay. We are on to Kiwi for the rest of this layer here. So I'm going to grab my green blender brush, and Kiwi is kind of a light but bright ink. Oftentimes I pair it with dill pickle, which I don't think you'd ever find me eating those 2 foods together. But the inks go really nicely together.
I forget if you already shared this, but today is a very special day.
Oh, Charlie's birthday?
It's your baby Charlie's birthday!
Today is my daughter Charlie's birthday. I know, not quite a teenager yet. The last year before we hit the teenager phase. So Charlie is 12 today.
12. That is so big.
She is, I think, having a good day. She was excited to go to school this morning, and she was up at 5:45.
Yes, yes.
We have a band concert for Maddie tonight, so we did our kind of birthday celebration this morning, and she got to open her presents, which I think is why she was up at 5:45. So, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Can I now? How about now?
I love Charlie. She's your creative daughter. She's always thinking about all the fun things you could make and create and mixing and matching.
She has always been that way.
And sometimes she works in the studio, so
some people might know her from the studio. She worked there this summer, so
she looks very grown up.
Yes,
she does not look like a 12-year-old.
Most people didn't realize she was 11 this summer still, but moving on up. And that will end our fall birthday season.
Yes, there's a lot of them.
So I'm just highlighting with my bitty blender brush and the dill pickle ink that I mentioned that goes really nicely with Kiwi, just to give this layer a touch of dimension. Okay, and now we're on to our last layer. You're gonna really start seeing this come together when I peel this one up. Super fun. Okay, here's my last layer. This one is fairly easy as well. We're going to do black along the left side and then a darker green along the right side. So we did arrange the stencil so that all of your black elements would be on one side of the stencil, and then hopefully you don't get it contaminated with your other side. So we'll start with the wintergreen color on the right side, giving it a nice dark coat of this bright green. I love this wintergreen color. It was new at Christmas last year. So, and this year we released a new color in October. So it's called Jujube, and it is a kind of brick red color, so it goes really well for Christmas this year too. I'm not sure I would pair it with wintergreen per se, but Jill Hawkins would find a way to make it work.
So true, yes.
She does such creative color combinations that I think I never would have thought to put that together. Okay, and then for my black blending, I have VersaFine Clair with my black blender brush. And I will often get questions about, how come I don't blend with Oreo? I find this black ink to go on a little bit smoother, and it is a little bit darker than the Oreo, so it builds up faster and doesn't require as much kind of blending over and over. But if you have our Oreo instead of this, it will work just great too. Got the black hat. Okay, we did it all the way through. There we have them. And they are perfectly arranged, so you don't have to do any of the guesswork about how do I cut these out now. We're simply going to cut this into quadrants and then run it through the die cut machine to cut these out. You'll notice that some of these areas are combined. That's because the design is a little bit larger than the tag, so that your color can go all the way to the edge of the die cut tag. So I am going to wipe off this area first, and then we'll get my paper cutter to trim the quadrants apart, and then we'll go ahead and die cut. Okay. So you should be able to cut just perfectly in half. This is an 8.5 by 11, so this is going to be your normal A2 cutting. So 4 1/4 on this end, and just pay attention to your visual too. You don't want to be cutting into any of the details. 4 1/4 on one side, and then 5 1/2 on the other. And then I'll move my blender brushes and my 800 inks out of the way so I can bring in the die cut machine. Okay, so here's our simple tags die. And as I mentioned, those alignment squares are going to help you position this so that you can die cut all of these tags at one time. So let me get this down. I find it easier to align when it's down on the paper. And then we're going to tack this in place. Just make sure, I think I shifted it a little touch. Okay, and we'll push that through. And then I'll show you, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 tags in each quadrant. There they are. Isn't that great? Let's see. Oh, somebody's asking, Alyssa maybe is asking, what was the other free gift? I only received the North Pole gift. So if you purchase an order of $100 or more, you would also receive the gift box, which is called Mini Mail. But if your order did not get over 100, then you would not have qualified for that gift. Hopefully that answers that question. There's our second one. I'll do one more of these with you guys. I must have lost one there. Oh, it's stuck in the paper. Okay. Let's do one of these with the kind of melded background area. And, oh, I always have trouble figuring out which way the alignment squares are facing. Position those and shift them into place. And run it through. Laura's asking if the Marion Bright die has to be clipped. I don't believe so. I think it is already tabbed for you, and that one comes on a magnet. Or I should say detabbed for you. There are poke holes in this die to get these pieces out. Sometimes I'll take my leftover tape and just kind of try to pull it out. And one thing I definitely want to show you. So let's look, since this layer we just cut has black ink on it. If you don't wait long enough, your black ink can transfer to your die plate. And then if you use this die plate without cleaning it to cut your next layer, you're going to transfer that black ink. So I would recommend taking a cleaning cloth. I'm just going to use a little spritz of alcohol and wipe it across the surface here and let that dry before you take it to your next panel. Makes sense. Nobody wants black marks on their tags after they're done, and those black areas that you stencil tend to not dry super quickly. All right, I've got one last one to do here, and then I'm going to bring in the freebie set, and we'll stamp a few to froms on there. Okay, and there's that black ink transfer again on the die. You can kind of see it there. So I'll make sure I clean that before somebody else tries to use it. And I will say there are already holes built into these dies. And there was a good reason why we made this die not see-through. So if you have one of our older ones, I believe the tags are see-through. However, we did it this way this time so that we didn't have to have the tabs on the holes so that they don't press into your designs as much. I did look at the other one and I also used it and didn't see any problems, but in case you see a difference in what their old die looked like versus the new die, they do look a little different, but get used the same way. Okay, so I wiped that off. And we have all of our tags die cut now. Yay! Look at that. And I think it was Gail was asking, or Dawn was asking if there was a layering die for these, and there is. So your simple tags die comes all together as one piece with those alignment squares. And then your backer dies are all separate. They do need to be detabbed when you receive them, and then we put them on these magnetic cards that we have. But all of these are designed to layer behind the tags that cut out with the simple tags. And the holes are already in there, so you don't have to worry about poking another hole or lining it up perfectly. It's all been figured out for you. So I have some that I've cut here from different various card stocks that we have, and one of the things I found that I enjoyed was stepping these up a notch by using some different, more unique cardstocks that we have in our collection. So I've got glitter cardstock, foil cardstock, black glossy cardstock is really fun with these black Santa details. And then another one that I wanted to show you guys was this chunky silver holographic glitter cardstock. I'm actually going to open this package up. I ran out when I was making these because I enjoyed them with this fun glittery backer. So I'm going to take and die cut. Actually, I think you guys probably don't need to watch me die cut again. But I'm going to take this long die. And this paper is pretty thick with that fun glitter on there, but it die cuts just perfectly. So let me run this through. And I'll poke it out for you here on the camera, and there that hole already came out. So then we can take some of our tags. Let's do this one with the presents. I'm gonna, before I put it on the backer, because that is a little bit textured, I wanna stamp it first. So I'm gonna grab my VersaFine Clair. I have my small acrylic block, and then I have the to and from. We'll do the to first. We can set that up on the acrylic block here. And we'll stamp that down into this bottom present area. And then the coordinating from. So there are lots of different fonts in here that you can mix and match, or, you know, use the coordinating ones. Okay. Actually, I just realized I grabbed the non-coordinating one, but that's okay. They go well together still. So you might have some small writing to write the to froms on there, but I think that's really fun. Also, another thing I haven't mentioned, if you're into foiling, we do have a coordinating foilet for this stencil, so you can grab that and be able to add those foiled details to your tags too. So I'm going to take some glue. Liquid glue typically works best to adhere onto these more textured glitter cardstocks. Okay, my glue's...
Did I use it all?
No, it is clogged, I think. I was using that one.
Used
oh, okay,
before.
you got this one. You already used it this morning. Okay. Then we'll just line up those little die cut holes, and our tag will be perfectly centered on the layer. Look at that. So fun.
I love that chunky glitter.
I like this guy. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to show you. So this is our little snowman face. It comes on that oval tag in the snowman quadrant. And I just felt like his head needed a hat on it. So
his head was cold. He needed a hat.
Yes, he wanted a hat. So I found this hat in the Snow Much Fun set that Heather designed. I believe that was last year for our All the Trimmings release. And I know, Whitney, you cut it and
I cut it out.
we laid it here. I think I just made a tornado with all of my inks, and now it's probably buried.
I'll keep looking and then you can
Okay. Well, you can see what it looks like, but it's die cut from glossy black cardstock with a red glitter brim on it. And then I just covered up the area with the hole, and I'll just poke a hole up here in the top of his hat. So that's another fun way to use this. But if you decide not to, I think the face is just cute on its own too.
He's so happy.
I know, I just felt like he needed a hat, so I put a hat on him. Okay, so I've got some more things cut here. I don't know that I need to keep everybody watching me stamp to from and glue them together. So this is about what I would do. And another little tip that I can give you, this big tag, let me show you. So this large tag, I ended up cutting the backer from the inside of this, and then realized that, you know, when you turn the tag over, you can see that opening in the glitter cardstock. So I ended up cutting another tag out of white cardstock and backing it. We all know those specialty cardstocks, like the glitters, they cost more, and so I want to get the maximum out of each of them. So you can actually fit this smaller tag inside of the other one, and then you can also fit the oval tag inside of there. You just need to back it with some plain white cardstock so you don't see the opening in the cardstock. So good little tip. Okay, Whitney, you just cut me another hat.
I figured he needed a hat.
Thank you. I feel bad. I don't know. Maybe his hat fell on the ground. I know it was here.
We'll find it later. And
we will. And then I'll make another one, and we'll have all kinds of little snowman face tags with hats. I'm sure we have some other sets that have hats in them too. Maybe our Cool Crew. You might be able to find a hat that works size-wise. And we just put that right there. Look at him. He's so cute. Okay. There we are. Lots and lots and lots of tags. Oh, yes, Bobby, you are right. I forgot. Bobby asked, are the original tags splattered? So let me pull out my original tags, and I will show you that I did do that. And I even have all the stuff here to splatter them, and I just forgot. So here's that snowman and the Santa from that original set. And I masked off the opposite side of the stencil, but keeping the stencil in place because you only want those splatters in these open areas that we did on the first stencil. So I just used the white, Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White is what I used, diluted with some water and then splattered across the stencil. And also another little tip, you want to clean that off right away. I did not. I left it over the weekend, I'm pretty sure. And it was a little harder to get off the stencil, all of the splatters, but it still came off. So oddly, I'm forgetting all kinds of things today, Whitney.
I know, it's the weather change.
I also added glitter to these tags. So let me show you how I did that really quickly with our sugar cube glitter and some crystal glaze. It's fun to find the little elements in this that are interesting and fun to add more detail to. So I will do, let's do this one. It's pretty easy to see. So I'm going to put glitter on the kind of base of Santa's hat and the pom-pom. And I'm going to do that by applying the crystal glaze. This is a clear, it dries completely clear. If you want something that looks glassy or glossy, you put this over it and let it dry. But it also works great as sort of a glitter adherer. So you can kind of squeeze it out of the bottle onto the areas that you want to be glittered. And it does take a good probably 15 minutes to dry. So don't touch it after you do it. And we'll grab the glitter. And this glitter is one that you can see the color behind the glitter. So it's an opaque glitter. Or a translucent glitter, sorry. So you can put it over colored areas too. If you wanted Santa's nose to just be kind of glossy, you could put just the crystal glaze over the top and let it dry, and it would have a raised glossy appearance. But that's another way for you to kind of dress up these tags without a lot of extra work. So yes. Funny little side note, at Stamp Joy, a wonderful customer named Carrie gave me a t-shirt that says, I use glitter as a weapon. So as I pulled out my sugar cube glitter, I thought about that funny saying, and it always makes me smile. So, all right, I am going to come back to you guys and let you know what we have going on the rest of this week. So Susan is going to be with you guys on Thursday. She will be creating another version of tags. This time she's going to be using that snow globe shaker tag, and she has some beautiful samples to share. I know I've mentioned several times Susan loves to wrap her gifts with fabulous tags that get saved for years to come. So she's going to have some good tips for you on doing that shaker tag ornament, and also as just a tag that you tie on a gift. All right, that's coming Thursday. Then Whitney and I will be here on Saturday for a release reveal for our final kit of 2025. We are coming into a busy season. You guys are well aware that we have our season of crafting and Black Friday sales coming up, which means there's no kit in November. And then in December, the last Tuesday of the month is right around Christmas. So we are not having a kit in December either. So make sure you tune in next week. You'll get the earliest sneak peek on the Fans of TE page. And you can find that Saturday. And then we'll be back on Tuesday with you guys to talk about our final kit of 2025.
I'm so excited!
I know, me too. All right, have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.